Alright, so today I'm heading into an area of town called Springfield. I spent a few years of my childhood over here in the Springfield area. It's kind of a more low income part of town, but it's historical. It's a really old area in Florida. And I'm gonna go visit my cousin Michael, who's in the hospital over here. There's a police officer right there. Don't take you long to find the police officers over here. Just chilling, just waiting. But so I'm going to see my cousin Michael. He's in the hospital. He got hit by a car as a pedestrian on January the 16th, 2015, and he's been in the hospital ever since, and it's today's March the 10th, so he's never really regained consciousness. He did very momentarily, just he actually said that he was afraid and he was scared, which actually makes me really sad, because that might be the last thing that he said, you know, because now they're saying that he's an organ failure and now he's on dialysis, so it's not looking good for him. And it really sucks because he's only 44. You know, he's had a rough go at life, you know, and here he's gotten hit by a car. It's friggin' crazy to me. Are you gonna, this person is like just all up in my lane. See, I can still pay attention even though I'm talking. But it's crazy because he's 44 years old. You know, he's just walking down the street. He got hit by a truck, actually. And they said he was supposed to be fine. He wasn't in a coma from being hit by a truck. They put him in a chemical coma with the same shit that killed Michael Jackson, propofol. And then all he had was, you know, how they describe it, is minor vertebrae damage. And he had a collapsed lung, and so he was on a ventilator for a while. That's why they had him in the coma while he's on the ventilator, so he wasn't moving around and stuff. And they took him off of the propofol and gave him some antibiotics for having a staph infection, and then they took him off all of his pain medication. They took him off the ventilator. His lung recollapsed. And they had to move him back to the ICU, and then they had him on a feeding tube the whole time, and they moved him upstairs, or moved him back downstairs from the ICU, and he pulled that feeding tube out from his nose, and he pulled it up just high enough that he aspirated the food that was in the feeding bag back into his lungs, and nobody was watching him because he had been stepped down from ICU, and he's just had problem after problem, and it really sucks. Like, I've never lost a cousin. I've lost a lot of people in my life. I've lost my dad. I've lost all my grandparents. I've lost friends, you know. I've lost aunts and uncles and stuff, but I haven't lost a cousin yet. This will be the first one. And I'm an only child, so my cousins have always been more like brothers and sisters. I grew up when I was real little around Michael, but I never spent much of my teenage or adult life around him. But I would see him at holidays, you know, and he's definitely a character. He's somebody that people remember, and he leaves an impact on you for sure. And I hate that I'm having to go visit him in the hospital. But I just hope that if he goes, that we can make him comfortable, you know, and just make him super duper comfortable and make it as easy as possible.